All right, what's going on, guys? It's Nando back with one more video, and let's talk about the Google Pixel 3a XL. Wow, that's a mouthful, right? 3a XL from Google. All right, man. So what was Google thinking when making the Pixel 3a XL? Honestly, they realized that they just weren't selling the kind of phone numbers that they wanted in order to compete with the iPhones and the Samsungs of the world. I mean, it really comes down to that. It comes down to the fact that Google is trying to make a product that's going to make and convert people over to their Pixel lineup when they know that there's people out there that want a flashier looking phone or a name brand like an iPhone. Pixel has always held a sweet, soft, cuddly spot in the heart of every tech nerd and geek in the world. Those that came to the Pixel lineup from the Nexus line. Those that understood what Google was trying to do back in the day, and we've continued to support them until now. The Pixel lineup is Google attempting to take that Nexus lineup, making it more expensive, and making it more premium. Now, we can sit here and discuss whether or not they have failed, if they've achieved where they are in that race. But what we do know, and numbers don't lie, and what we do know in the release of the Pixel A version does not lie, is that they're just not simply selling the quantity of phones that they want to sell, that they need to sell in order to kind of justify their investment into, I think, a Pixel lineup of smartphones. Now, personally, I loved the Pixel 1, 2, and now 3. We all know that its number one feature is the camera. So if you're Google and you can go ahead and bring the cost down, keep the same camera, and make people get attracted to its lower price point, then yeah, do it. Go ahead and do it. And that's exactly what they did with the Pixel 3 XL. Now, I've got that bad boy right here. On this video, I just kind of want to talk a little bit about things that I've enjoyed about this phone, things I have not enjoyed about this phone. And then in my next video, I'm going to do a final review on this phone. I was thinking about breaking this down into a lot more parts, but quite honestly, I've used this phone for a little over a week now, and I think I've made up my mind exactly who this phone is for, what I think it's trying to accomplish, and I want to share that with you. But before I do that, I want to just kind of go off in no particular order things that I've enjoyed and things that I've not enjoyed about this phone. First things first, the build quality on this bad boy right here. This is the white version, or clearly white as Google wants to call it, or something along those lines. This is the XL version of this phone. This retails, I think, for $479 US or $429. I'm going to link everything in the description below. You guys can check that out on Amazon. Oh, and by the way, please, if you do decide you want to support the channel, please hit that link. Even if you don't buy the phone, but anything that you do buy does support the channel. So I very much appreciate each and every one of you guys. With that being said, the Pixel 3 XL feels good, man. This phone feels good in hand. It actually, like, this is polycarbonate. Okay, this is plastic. But if you didn't know any better, you probably thought this was glass. The same glass that they used with their 3 and 3 XL version of these phones. It just feels good in hand. The white particularly does not really show smudges, which I enjoy. It's kind of grippy. I guess I should say that. If your hands are sweaty, then it feels grippy. If your hands are dry, then it's a very slippery phone, because I did have to go get a case for the fear that this thing was going to fall out of my hands. But it looks good. It doesn't look cheap. It doesn't seem like it's going to be like, man, I'm really downgrading the quality of my phone by going from the traditional Pixel 3 or 3 XL to the 3A or 3A XL. That's not at all what you feel when you get this phone in your hand. And I very much enjoy that, because even though I'm spending less money, I'm still spending money. And I'm sure everyone, when they buy something, especially tech, they want to enjoy it. It's an extension of who we are as individuals. It's not so much, I'm going to buy that random $500 phone, and I could care less if it's ugly or pretty. Maybe some of you exist out there that think like that, but the vast majority of consumers these days, the purchase of your clothes, of your tech, of everything, accessories that you put on you, is an extension of who you are to a degree. So quality of this phone has definitely been there. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. Screen has been decent. No real issues there. Form factor is slightly a little smaller than the traditional Pixel 3 XL. I'm fine with that too. Battery life. I've read a lot of reviews that people really enjoyed the battery life on this bad boy. I have enjoyed the battery life on this. It's not as good as what I hoped. And maybe it's just the way I'm using it. I don't think I use it any way differently than I've used my other phones, but I've got better battery life on my S10 Plus. I had better battery life, obviously, on my Huawei P30 Pro, my iPhone XR, so forth and so on. But it's not bad. I actually think it's a little better than the regular Pixel 3 XL, and I do know it has a bigger battery than that phone. So, that's expected. Now, the number one thing, you guys can already guess it. I said no particular order, is a camera, right? The camera module on this thing is fantastic. You're taking a picture and you're just going to enjoy the way it looks. It's a joy to use. I mean, look at that right there. See? It's a joy to use. Google has figured out how to make a camera the right way. You don't need all the bells and whistles, in my opinion, if you're using a smartphone for a camera. Some will argue you do, but if you're really going to go that length to tweak and adjust and compose, etc., manually, then you're probably going to have a DSLR. You're probably going to have a mirrorless camera. If you're going to carry around a phone with you to take pictures, the last thing you want to do is to spend time having to properly expose and properly dial up that picture. You want to pull out your phone, take a picture, keep it moving, otherwise you're going to miss your shot. And if you're walking out with a mirrorless camera, with a DSLR, then you're going to spend time composing, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't walk out the house with all that gear in the first place. The camera on this phone is amazing. It's fantastic. There's no issues. I don't think I've had a moment yet where I'm like, man, I think it was better on the 3 or 3 XL. With that being said, they've removed a key component, I think. I forget what it's called, that focuses on processing the image. And I think that does make a slight difference when it takes the processing to get done. I think it's slower there, a couple seconds. Sometimes it lags slightly. So that's where you're going to see, especially if you've used a 3 or 3 XL, that's where you're going to notice a big difference. But other than that, the camera's fantastic. Okay. Let's talk about a couple things that I haven't enjoyed. I wish the phone charged faster. I wish Google would put more emphasis on this version of the phone to charge a little faster and make that be the priority. I wish this phone was water resistant or waterproofing. I don't know to what degree you can put this phone underwater, but it's not like the Pixel 3 and 3 XL. I wish the front-facing camera was like the original Pixel 3 and 3 XL. It's not. I wish that they had focused on the camera system all the way through and through and not just kind of the primary back camera. I wish the speakers on this phone were better. I know the Pixel 3 XL, it just sounds better, is better. This one's, I got to kind of blast the volume a little bit more than usual in order for it to achieve the volumes that I like. What else? I don't really use wireless charging, but, I wish it was there. I mean, I don't know how much more adding those things would have added to the total cost of the phone, obviously. But it's funny because as you start to add those things, then you start to tell yourself, man, I just wish it was the Pixel 3 or 3 XL. Basically, hey, Google, if you could have just come out, sorry if I said that to anybody's phone, but if you could have just come out with a Pixel 3 or 3 XL that wasn't so expensive, then no need to have come out with this version, but it is what it is. So, I mean, the dislikes are more nitty-gritty, more nitpicky, more customizable to my experience than it would be to yours. But overall, so far, between the likes and the dislikes, this phone has been an overwhelming like. I've enjoyed it very much. And if you guys have other experiences, if you guys have felt otherwise or differently, please let me know in the comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. And let me know, what phone are you getting? Did you switch from a current phone to the Pixel 3a or 3a XL? I kind of bought the 3 XL expecting to get rid of my Samsung S10 Plus, believe it or not. I'll let you guys know in the next video whether I'm doing that, but that was my thought process. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Like always, it was Nando. Stay geeky. Peace, salute, and adios.